It's the Global Speedrun Association, bros, and we're gonna watch some Mario 64 races now. Division 2, 70 Star. m0m0 versus saksdal. I'm electric, and I'm super hyped for this matchup. These guys, I mean, m0m0, what is there that needs to be said about m0m0? I'm sure so many people in the chat already have those m0m0 star gets with the cool cats readying right in their chat boxes. Meanwhile, saksdal, just another really, really awesome player, has been showing off some skills that we haven't quite expected from players in Division 2 in some cases. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Quick peek up at our statistics. Of course, JJ moving well up in those rankings with those full 90 points from Gainai, moving all the way up to 4th from, I believe, 7th or 8th. As for this next matchup, m0m0 in 7th place, 2 wins, 2 losses. saksdal, unfortunately, 3 losses, 1 win. Pretty big point differential between them, but should saksdal pull off a solid win here, he can definitely move up a little bit in those rankings, possibly passing up Cartoon Buffoon and maybe even Drogi before his race later tonight. So these players, obviously not perfect records, but seem to be pretty decently matched up, fairly close together. And we're off, folks. I just gotta go ahead and say, I have to call your attention to that water bottle that m0m0 has. I don't understand German water bottles. Like, I get that they're supposed to be kind of more ergonomic, but like, they just always look so strange to me. I remember the first time I saw one on D whatever stream, I was so confused. And we've also got m0m0 with the JP version. Potentially doesn't have an English card, or maybe just more comfortable with the JP version's text scrolling. Who knows? saksdal, though, on that optimal NA version. And soon enough, these players will have full control over the Red Hat Man and be well on their way throughout this run. Let's see how their Lakitu skips go. m0m0 opting for that slightly safer setup, using the kickoff to the side, but doesn't quite work out for him. saksdal, though, gets the skip just fine with that dead-on setup. m0m0 trying to play it a little bit safe, ends up backfiring a little bit. m0m0 cutscene get, I think, is what we're seeing today. You like German water bottles, the shape gives you a good grip. Like, I can see that they're ergonomic. It's just, it's very jarring going from the perfect cylinder American water bottles. saksdal with a very interesting bomb clip. Oh, what? Even? That was just unfortunate there. m0m0 already reclaiming the lead that he lost to the Lakitu skip. saksdal with a backflip bomb clip, or at least a backflip after his bomb clip. See, Dan, that would be my concern, is that, like, once the water starts running out, you're trying to drink from it, you're holding the top, and the bottom of the bottle just kind of collapses on you. But enough talk about water bottles. These guys wishing that there was water on this slide. Let's take some guesses as to what times they're going to get. I think m0m0 is going to pull off a very, very cool 12-9. saksdal, 12-7. m0m0 going really far to the left on that wall there. Gets what looks like a pretty nice angle for the momentum redirect. Loses a bit of speed there, though. 13-1 from m0m0. A 12-7 from saksdal's side. Finishing up right in line with the script there. Very nice. There will be water in JRB. I've got some unfortunate news for you, friend. There will be water in DDD, though. We'll have to wait a little while longer, but there will be water in the run. Let's see here. m0m0 going to be starting off with Owless, actually, instead of Cannonless. Gets the lineup. Putts from the green, and it's good. Hole in one. Very nice, as saksdal also lands his wall ball victory for Cannonless. Commentator trying to make these obscure sports analogies work, but they're just not quite working out. m0m0, meanwhile, going to be going for his own Cannonless. Let's see if saksdal goes ahead and moves to 100. Nope, going to be going for Owless. Players just flip-flopping their star orders here. And Saksdal a little bit close to the fence, but still manages to get it first try. Very nice. And now they're going to be moving in for 100 coins, more than likely. Well, no, m0m0 actually seeming to opt for Wild Blue first. Meanwhile, Saksdal going for Pro Cycle 100 coin. The tightest cycle, but also the fastest should he be able to pull it off. That booty slide right there might actually cost him that full cycle. We'll have to see here. Oh, misses the side flip there. That's definitely going to cost him. Probably going to have to go for half cycle movement now, which isn't too bad, but it is going to lose him a little bit of time. Oh, barely manages to snag that blue coin. Wait, what? What is Saksdal doing? I think Saksdal may have thought that he'd already finished reds or something. This is very, very strange. He's got to realize soon enough that he doesn't quite have all 8 reds. I almost feel like he kind of was waiting for the cutscene there. I don't know exactly what's going on. Whether he's going to attempt a backup star, whether he's going to go back for that red, that's going to cost a pretty significant amount of time having to go back for that red. Oh, okay, no, he definitely has to see the red that he missed now. Falls off the wooden plank, needs to do this slope jump backup, but meanwhile, m0m0 is already nearly complete with his own 100 coin. This is just some huge time loss on Saksdal's side. Wow. And Saksdal, of course, still does not have Cannonless, so a full star behind m0m0. Or wait, sorry, I forgot that m0m0 had gotten Wild Blue before doing 100 coin. That's my bad. But m0m0 now taking care of Big Womp. Saksdal about to join him. And so we're going to be moving to the top of the tower in just a moment here. Pretty decent Womps 9s from both of our players. Saksdal with some pretty strange mistakes on that 100 coin, but overall, fairly solid performance otherwise. m0m0, meanwhile, is probably going to be getting out of here with a very, very low 7-0x. That counts as a low 7-0x. Saksdal, meanwhile, going to go ahead and take care of his own top of the Fortress Star. As m0m0 moves back into the slide, I'm thinking that he'll get a better time this time around. I'm going to go ahead and say a 12-9 yet again. Let's see how his momentum goes after that corner hit. And a 12-7, really, really nice improvement. Nearly half a second saved over that first slide. Nice. And so now m0m0 is going to be moving on into wing cap as Saksdal gets his second slide time of 12-7 as well. 12-7's all around for these folks. m0m0 has some pretty decent arcs. Tends to take things a little bit slow around the coins themselves. Not going for those really hard turns we see in D1, but still really, really smooth, quick flying. Let's see that tech skip now. Nice double jump dive there. And now m0m0's punched his ticket for Dark World. Let's see if he's able to get the train to leave on that Shig cycle timing. Okay, gets the switch press without the burn. Saksdal also with some nice flying and be joining the Dark World shenanigans in just a moment. Oh, m0m0 misses that double jump. For whatever reason, Mario just not able to double jump on slopes at that steepness and slipperiness. I think Shig might still be barely possible, but it'd be pretty tight if it is. Just gonna go ahead and go for Poverty Shig. Smart move. That long jump across the gorge there is pretty difficult, especially when you're under pressure to get consistently. Nice movement from Sax. Goes for that gorge jump and gets it. Gonna save a little bit of time over m0m0's Dark World. True Shig cycle here. Great stuff from Sax. m0m0 too, but Saksdal had a bit cleaner of a Dark World overall. Nice wall kicks and triple jump dive. m0m0's first throw. Nice throw, 2 bounce. Saksdal also joining him in the Bowser fight. m0m0 going to be moving on now to clean up the rest of the lobby and then move on through the rest of the game. Saksdal with a bit of a angled throw there, but still managed to make Bowser hit the bomb, just barely. Okay, m0m0 moving on into BOB for the revisit for Sky Jump. Kind of an awkward triple jump there, but m0m0 still manages to get over the fence just fine. Saksdal right behind him. Very, very nice flying to get to the box there. Saksdal with the speed kick strats to make his way over to the box just slightly faster. Beautiful sky jumps from both these guys. Now let's see how their CCMs go. I think I could be wrong on this, but I believe that I've seen Saksdal go for CCM 17 in races before. Could certainly be wrong with that. You know, Commentator commentates so many races that sometimes the runners and the races just blend together a little bit, but we might be seeing ourselves a little bit of a route difference here. m0m0 misses the penguin. Those little creatures like the penguin, the monkey, and TTM, they all have way too small of hitboxes for Mario's punch, I feel like. The other thing that's a little bit weird to adjust to is Mario's punching hitboxes not perfectly symmetrical. Like, you don't have the same range on your right side as you do on your left. Saksdal goes for the advanced wall kicks and unfortunately doesn't land back on the ice platform quite correctly, but it does still get a pretty decent backup. So if I remember correctly, you want the penguin to be like slightly to the right of Mario's center. And if that's the case, then you have a little bit more of a grabbing hitbox than you would if he was dead center. Ooh, the m0m0 Stargates are really coming out in full force in chat now. And we got both of them with the slide skip. Either Saksdal deciding to play it a bit safer today, or Commentator just had no clue what he was talking about, saying Saksdal went for CCM 17. It's up in the air, you know, flip a coin, figure out which one is what actually happened. But we got both of them with their slide skips under their belts. Penguin, Wranglin. Actually, yeah, that's kind of interesting how m0m0 hasn't done wall kicks yet, and Saksdal hasn't done the little penguin lost star yet. m0m0 very clean wall kicks, saving just a cheeky couple of seconds over Sax there. Saksdal looks like he's actually saving the baby penguin for last for whatever reason. Oh, duh. Okay, I remember Saksdal did something kind of weird with CCM 100. This is what it is. So if you haven't seen this order before, this is a pretty neat little route for CCM 100 with the penguin race. The slide has a few checkpoints along it to make sure that you don't do a slide skip in order to win the penguin race. But those checkpoints are kind of spread out, and so as you're going to see here, Saksdal is actually going to skip a minor part of the slide And because of that, the Penguin is going to be just completely hauling after him, but he's not actually going to be able to catch up to him. And he is going to save just a couple of seconds over the more standard routes that we've seen. Meanwhile, m0m0 doing a much more traditional route for this CCM 100. Very nicely executed from saksdal. That little slide skip always gives me a minor heart attack. Because I always think that he's going to miss the other side of the slide, but still managed to get it very, very nice and clean. Meanwhile, m0m0 also gets his 100 coins on the slide. No issues with CCM 18. So we saw that last race, unfortunately, Gainai had issues with missing too many coins on the slide and then taking a death. So this is a lot more in line with what you're wanting to see in these races. So now saksdal's going to be going for his little penguin. Meanwhile, m0m0 moving right on along to BBH as soon as he gets out of this cutscene. Also, again, shoutouts to D-Whatever for his amazing Twitter video. If you triple jump in just the right spots, you can delay the cutscene of the penguin's mom saying, "Oh, you found my precious baby." And if you jump just right, you can land right on the edge of the world before that cutscene plays, and then just drop the baby penguin off the edge and still get your star. It's not at all RTA effective. It loses a pretty decent bit of time, but it's still super funny that that's actually a thing that can happen. So m0m0 gonna go for bookcase first. Let's see what saksdal decides. That bookcase star, even though it's pretty easy, it can be a little bit finicky with that double jump you have to do right outside the doorway. If you get hung up on the fence just a little bit too long, you lose so much speed that you end up just falling right down between the two platforms. So we got saksdal doing the opposite order, going for the boo on the balcony first. Nice sliding kill there. Very, very clean performance. m0m0 right behind. But remember, saksdal does have to re-enter and take care of some book learnings. Ooh, nice boo kill there. All right, so m0m0 is now headed down to the basement. 20 stars in tow. Our players are still pretty close together. That bookcase star goes by within about 25-30 seconds, considering all the cutscenes and stuff that are between these two guys. So even though m0m0 does have a pretty decent lead, it's not at all a totally surefire solid lead just yet. Gets that MIPS grab just fine. All right, m0m0 moving into SSL. Let's see how this goes. Oh, not getting the jump alongside the throw there. So just gonna have to go for shiny top as a real quick backup. Oh, he's actually gonna go ahead and wait for Talon. A pretty decent move. I mean, I'm a little on the fence as far as whether that was the absolute greatest idea ever, but still a very, very solid backup nonetheless. However, saksdal first try pillarless. Let's go. Not quite in the lead just yet, but that's a really, really nice thing to have out of the way. Just done, not have to worry about anymore. m0m0 gets the throw this time, gets a nice big bomb on his re-grab. He's over the hill. The double jump is good. He's got a little bit of a steep angle. And he's in there. Very, very nice. As saksdal goes ahead and activates Talon. Very nice. So now we just got a shiny top from both these guys, and we'll be on our way into Triple L. All right. Just about a Star exit cutscene apart at this point. m0m0 not even really getting through that first text box before saksdal already hops in that painting. So let's see. Reds look really nice from m0m0. Oh, saksdal getting a burn right on the end of his diving movement there. Very, very nice recovery. Knows that the puzzle is going to be kind of in a weird position since he got that burn. Really, really nice accounting for that. m0m0's going to do some red hot log rolling, or more precisely, not hot arch jumping. Gliding right alongside that fence. Same start order from both our players here. A little bit unusual for LLL, but it happens on occasion. So it looks like m0m0 is going to be saving the volcano stars toward the end. Meanwhile, saksdal is going to go ahead and knock those out, or at least one of them. It's kind of a weird angle on his second long jump there. So we're going to have to take the ledge grab, but still a very fast entry. And the Akira boost, very nice. It's the second fastest form of lava boost. It's only slightly slower than Pro Boost, if I understand correctly. I think saksdal is one of the few that I've seen regularly use that Akira boost. Meanwhile, m0m0's just taking care of some bully dispatch. Nice triple kill there. Very, very smooth. Meanwhile, saksdal moving in for elevator tour. Oh, for whatever reason, didn't get the dive there. I guess he didn't like his angle a whole lot, so nice recovery not going for the dive at all then. Gonna go for a safe ending there just to make sure everything's all peachy keen. Meanwhile, m0m0's moving into the volcano for his first time. Nice long jumps there. No ledge grab. Gonna be going for that much safer long jump boost. Very easy, very free. A pretty decent ending to boot. saksdal moving in on these bullies. He's got a couple of ledge grabs. The triple bully kill is a little unlikely, especially with a bop like that from the first bully. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly it is, but for some reason, the bullies seem to get a little bit more easily disinterested in you the longer that you take to get over there. Even though all three of those bullies were pretty close to saksdal and should have all been aggroed, for whatever reason, one of them just decided, not really worth my time today. m0m0 with the very, very risky dive rollout ends up bopping on the platform, but somehow survives. That is the face of a very lucky man right now. But with that, he's going to be moving right along to Fire Sea. saksdal misses the long jump off the platform, though, still is able to get just fine over to this bully island. Needs to make sure that the stair movement goes well. And it does. Going to also be joining m0m0 in Fire Sea. m0m0's still with a pretty decent lead. Let's see what his DDD entry looks like. And that's about a 31.5 or so fade out. Gonna be going for these chests in the current. And these guys always make this star look pretty easy, but there's a lot at play here that you can't see anywhere near as easily. Any time that you're anywhere in this basin, that vortex is pulling you towards it. So your movement is always having to account for that vortex trying to pull you towards the center of this lake. And then, of course, the vortex has all those particles around it that cause a bunch of lag. And so it's really important to try to keep that out of your camera's view as much as you can. And the precise swimming involved it takes a lot of work to get down. You can get it very, very consistent, but it does take a lot of time to do. But neither of these guys having much trouble with the star. Definitely have put their hours in on this game. Very, very nice chest openings from both of them. Now m0m0 with the rear sub lineup. Pretty decent rear sub from m0m0, getting a little bit caught up on that rear fin, but not too much time loss at all. saksdal also going to be playing it safe with a rear sub. He's swimming towards it now. Jump, side flip, jump dive, and he's on the sub. Nice. m0m0 getting in a fight with a manta ray here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rings. Nice. Beautiful rings from m0m0's side. Let's see how saksdal fares on the same star. Yeah, I don't quite understand how Nintendo thought that the amount of lag that submarine made was okay. As I've said before, I think that sub must have been a tech demo that they just really, really wanted to put in a game. m0m0, meanwhile, really, really wanting to make contact with the lava for some reason. Not exactly sure what's going on there. Takes that burn to get himself onto the metal platforms. One wedge of health left, but the coins he grabs up there make it a little bit more worth it. More than likely, both lava boosts, definitely lava boost, but early LE is likely also off the table due to those early mistakes, which is unfortunate to see, but he is recovering fairly nicely. He's pretty much got himself back into the main groove. Early LEs could be possible. No, never mind. I didn't realize the poppers were falling. For some reason, it looked like they were still rising, which I was confused about, but makes a lot more sense now that I know they were falling. saksdal, meanwhile, is on lava boost pace. Let's see if he's able to hit it, and it's good. A little bit close, honestly, but he made it work. Getting bodied by the amp, though, as he's trying to get through this good ending phase. Gonna have to just settle for a bad ending, but that's okay. Still a really, really nice fire seat, and overall really close now to m0m0, even closer than he was before. Look at this. The star animation playing very, very close together. Not quite a sync just yet, but who knows, we could see one pretty soon. m0m0 with the very interesting stat to set up for the Bowser throw here. And just because of a slightly better throw, it looks like saksdal will now be in the lead. Just barely, though. Oh, look at this. We're going to have a very near sync at this point. It's going to be synced. That key was exact. What? How is this possible? What? An exact sync, it looks like. Now, I never even realized that difference between the versions, that on JP, the key grab shows as a star, but on English, the key is actually shown as a key. I've never realized that was a thing. That's insane. An exact sync at this point. Little movement discrepancies are what's going to change that lead back and forth here. And near exact sync yet again, just due to that little bit of movement difference. saksdal pulled ahead a little bit in the staircase, but then m0m0's movement outside pulled up a little bit more speed for him. m0m0 with the double box break and gain a little bit of time here. Neither of them missing a coin just yet. saksdal getting both of them actually getting kind of an awkward skier position, but dealing with it pretty nicely. saksdal unfortunately has to go ahead and lose his safety coin there. m0m0, meanwhile, getting caught up on that stone pillar. saksdal gaining a little bit of a lead through this 100 coin, but no safety coin. Meanwhile, m0m0 does still have his safe coin. If anything bad happens to saksdal, that could be the end of his lead right there. Oh, the amp bodying him. At least he was able to get up without a ledge grab. m0m0, no amp in his way. Both of them moving right along to the final secret here. This box is really the one that, in my experience, has probably the worst RNG and the most volatile RNG, but both of them getting pretty good RNG from the boxes throughout this 100 coin. Dave Stereo with the 50 viewer host. What? Thank you so much, Dave, for the host. Welcome to the Global Speedrun Association, folks. I'm Electric, and you're watching Super Mario 64 70 Star, our Division 2 League. This matchup is a pretty hot one so far, as you can tell. Both these guys are very, very close together. Let's look at this fade out. A 55 fade out from saksdal, barely a 56 on m0m0's side. It was a late 55 on saksdal, so less than a second apart pretty much. This is wild. Backestaffen, the way that the coins spawn from boxes or any other source where they kind of spray out is actually RNG. The game independently calls its random number generator for the X, Y, and Z velocity of each individual coin. So yes, it is correct usage of RNG. It is the random number generator affecting how exactly the coins spawn. Yeah, this race is pretty wild so far. Looks like the elevator star gained a little bit of a lead for m0m0, but let's see if he's able to hold on to that. Oh, I didn't even realize they went for the opposite star again. They're so close together that I keep thinking they're doing the exact same thing. saksdal, nice top of the town. m0m0, nice elevator, and they're back pretty much within sync again. Okay, saksdal heading up for his shocking aerolift star. Meanwhile, m0m0 heading right up to the top of the town. Very nice triple jump there. And they're going to be leaving Wet Dry World now, heading over to the worst stage in the game, Tiny Huge Island. Let's hope that THI doesn't change the lead here. I'd actually be pretty sad if THI made or broke a pretty huge lead. So saksdal faded out of Star Select at about 30-50, m0m0 at about 30-54, so only 4 seconds apart right now. I don't think saksdal actually grabbed that first secret. What a weird start, and the sync is back. 4 seconds of time loss or so. And they're at least getting nice endings to secrets. The Goomba getting right in saksdal's way, knocking him down into oblivion. Oh no. Commentator's curse in full effect. I said I didn't want a lead change here. THI just has to be the worst stage every time. I wonder if it's a situation where THI knows how much players hate it and so wants to spite them at every opportunity. That must be it. But I digress. m0m0 now making his way to the top of the mountain, or island as it were. Pretty interesting strat to make his way over towards the box up here. Haven't seen many people do that. Seen a lot more people do this movement saksdal's doing, and then a nice mountain clip gets out of the water very quickly, saving that cheeky third of a second over m0m0. Yeah, Dan's game, Tiny Huge Island, is very, very accurate. Now we got some Piranha Pluck in action. I think saksdal might be one of those guys that goes for the reverse Piranha order, but I'm not quite sure. We're about to find out. Yeah, he does. Interesting. There's really no time difference, depending on like what order that you actually do. It's just what you're more comfortable with. I think one might be like just a few frames faster, but I'm not exactly sure, and that's only if done perfectly, if that's the case. We've got m0m0 talking to Toad now. saksdal making his way out of the THI lobby. Our player's about to enter Tall Mountain. Now, if THI caused some issues with the lead, I feel like we're going to see some more of that happening in TTM, unfortunately. I thought for a moment that m0m0 just didn't grab the star. That would have been just horrible, talking to Toad and then not bothering to get your reward from it. m0m0 opting for the very, very safe strat here. No log wall kick. But saksdal going to try to save a little bit of time, and it works at least once for him. Remember, he's got to do this strat twice. Let's see. He's going for the wall kick ending to the waterfall star, and it's good. Very nice. Going to save just a little bit of time over m0m0 there. So now m0m0 with this safe movement yet again. Oh, saksdal instead of the log wall kick accidentally gets a ground pound. Tries for the wall kick again as a backup, but doesn't quite work. Gonna have to go for reds with a little bit of strange movement. Reds works well as a backup, but it can be kind of hard to get yourself into the groove of doing reds as if you had just started it for the first time. Nice lag reduction from saksdal, and he needs it with how much trouble he has getting over that little bit of geometry there, but he's finally through. Gets the start pretty nicely. m0m0 with some kind of interesting starting movement for the reds, taking it really, really close to that lake's edge, but managed to get up there just fine. Mushrooms were good. Let's see if he can get a bit cleaner of a red coin maze than saksdal did. Kind of gets his momentum stopped there. Has a little bit of trouble kicking himself over the next slope, but he's finally on up there. saksdal getting a little bit stuck in the water post mountain cliff. But the second log wall kick is good. And he just got to make his way to the top of the mountain. Super Viper, yes, that was the 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time race. All right, we got m0m0 grabbing the mushroom there, and saksdal gonna be following right behind. Very nice. That little bit of delay on his rollout there to make sure that the rollout hit the star. And now we got m0m0 going for the breeze star. No breezes attempt from him. Let's see if saksdal decides to play it a little bit risky there. Breezes only loses about 2 seconds with a fail, but really, really swag if you're able to land it. saksdal with a very, very weird lineup. I don't think that he was moving properly throughout those first 2 jumps. And then the breeze not quite getting him on top of the ledge up there. Tried to play it a little bit too optimally, it looked like. Oh, clips right through the side of the mountain there. Tries to go a little bit too close. Oh, man. Unfortunately, that's not the first time I've seen that, but it's always heartbreaking every time I do. I don't know exactly what causes that. I think it's pretty much just Mario hitting the exact wrong point of that seam there, but whatever the case, saksdal lost some pretty significant time to that, unfortunately. Now, m0m0 is moving into Snowman's Land now. He's got himself the whirl over the freezing pond, or slide over the hill and ground pound away, as I like to call it. I've tried coming up with an alternate name for that star because it's hard to remember whirl from the freezing pond because it doesn't have any relation to what we do as a strat for that star. But I feel like I can't remember exactly what I rename it, so I call it something different every time. But anyway, saksdal with a very clean snowman's head. That can be a difficult star to get clean your first try. A lot of people have to take some sort of backup to it, but the sliding strat works for him and for m0m0. Very nice. Very clean Snowman's Land so far. Oh, okay, Viper. I didn't actually know that was how that worked. I thought it was weird how that seam clip seemed to happen basically only there and not really in any other big spot, but I never knew that was the reason why. Thanks for that. Here we go. Oh, okay. See, I didn't realize that mechanic was a thing. I thought breezeless just worked because, like, your ground pound got detected as being inside the fence for, like, a couple of frames or something. I didn't know exactly how it worked. The more you know. Oh, okay, I see. So now we got m0m0 collecting his MIP star as saksdal collects his last Snowman's Land star, going to be joining m0m0 down in the basement. m0m0 does have a decently sizable lead due to that breezeful death, but still a fairly close race overall. Let's see what time m0m0 ends up entering HMC here. Here we go! Star rotation is such a hot meme. Oh, m0m0 misses the triple jump off the box. Not quite able to get enough height to clear the box. So he's going to Christmas Miracle as a backup. Get it. Dives immediately. And still lands on the switch perfectly fine. I've seen a couple of people do that immediate dive and have some pretty nice success with it. It seems like everyone has their own method of getting the switch press consistent. So we got saksdal about a star behind or so, but he can still make up some decent time. This is that very first long jump, or he might have been going for that alternate movement. There's an alternate movement through that very first hallway of HMC that saves, I'm not kidding, 1 frame if you do it perfectly. The synchronized triple jump into the cavern, though, that's beautiful. A little bit of a fake sync yet again for you guys. This is the race of syncs. Someone call Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, whoever else. Let them know that their products are on display in kind of strange places. I think that must have been a missed long jump from saksdal, and he tried doing that alt movement to go ahead and recover from it. It's very rare that you find things that are totally different like that only save 1 frame, but it's the case in HMC. Still synced. m0m0 still 1 star ahead though. Okay, moving on through the door. Let's see what they're moving on to next here. m0m0 with rolling rocks. The RNG not too great. Not able to avoid that first boulder at all, but still manages to get through without any more trouble. Meanwhile, saksdal's Christmas Miracle is good. Okay, now m0m0 is going to be exiting course and moving on up to Tippy saksdal just with 1 star left to go. Touches the door and gets that fade out at about 41-14. Meanwhile, Sax probably going to be looking at a low 42 or so. Oh, the boulder not treating saksdal well either. 2 of them right back to back. There's no safe haven from these boulders and their RNG. m0m0 moving on into Rainbow Ride. This is where the run can really just be made or broken. Because Lakitu misses the wall kick. I thought that was going to be good, but just I guess his side flip was either started from a bit late of a position, or I'm not sure exactly what happened, but somehow just flying right under that wooden plank. This nice backup with the reds. Looks like saksdal's about 40 seconds or so behind based on his timer. I didn't see exactly when he got the upstairs fade out, but yes, there is no such thing as depth perception in this game. That's like really the only thing I'd really complain about, is especially when you're trying to time wall kicks. Like some walls, it is impossible to tell how close or how far away Mario is. Especially in like HMC or CCM, some of those walls are just so vague. And it's really, really hard to tell exactly where you are. saksdal gets the wall kick, but misses Lakitu and falls right to his death. No chance for a backup. Cannot pass go or collect $200. Meanwhile, m0m0 ends up getting the bounce, but doesn't quite get high enough on the platform to get a jump. Whenever you start that slide down animation, Mario has to be sliding for at least 4 frames before he's able to jump up again. So if you land too close to the bottom of that slope, even though you're on the slope, you don't have any frame to jump if you land too far to the bottom. But saksdal manages to get Lakitu bounce on his second try. And the ending is good. Nice double jump and the kick there to avoid a ledge grab. m0m0 still has to make this work. He's 0 for 2. Gets the wall kick this time around. Very, very late wall kick ultimately, but it works for him this time. He's up there. Misses the triple jump. Gonna have to take a little bit extra time passing up this, or climbing up this pole rather. saksdal tries to go ahead and start off reds, but misses that platform with his dive. Having a little bit of issue actually getting into the maze, but he's there now. Nice wall kick back up there to go ahead and collect that first red. But then, was that a missed wall kick there? That was really strange. I don't think I've ever seen Mario quite move that way. Misses that 5th red. Oh, saksdal is just having a rough time with these reds right now. He picked up some momentum off of getting that Lakitu bounce second try, but is kind of starting to show some more flubs here and there. But meanwhile, m0m0 is out of there. saksdal still with 2 stars left to go. Super Viper, I'm pretty sure that the stone base of the maze is, like, it extends under the actual maze. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, like, that platform is virtually identical to the one that's under Swinging in the Breeze. saksdal going for left side tricky triangles. Running in that corner to make sure he's got enough speed to get on through. But yeah, I don't think that bomb can actually push you through that particular wall. Not sure if that area would actually be considered out of... it shouldn't be considered out of bounds, so that bomb might be able to push you through with a good angle. Not exactly sure. Commentator more focused on theoretical bomb clips than on the TTC 100 that m0m0 is just pulling absolute fire on. Beautiful movement there. Now he's in the 60 to 80 danger zone. Very, very difficult movement. Even if you get everything right, you can still lose like that. That ledge grab lost him a couple of seconds there. Not super, super major, but those little mistakes can start to tilt you and end up evolving into much larger mistakes. Nice box kick there. Very clean ending. The ending is... It certainly takes a lot of time to get used to breaking the box, and then with the double jump you collect the coins with, end up actually moving your way over to the final coin box. Most superior because he plays in stereo. saksdal falling right out of TTC. Oh, man. He goes on back in fast enough that he's not going to be able to try for 100 coin again. Nice time moving TJWK. Oh, slides right off. What? I don't think I've ever actually seen that mistake before. Oh, man. I think he just stepped on, like, the very, very edge of that slanted polygon, and that was it for him. Just slid right off into oblivion. That is... Oh, that's rough. Gonna go ahead and go for time jumps. m0m0's just cruising on along, though. TTC not really providing him any problems. The time-moving triple jump is good. And he's making his way over towards the pendulum star now. Nice ending to that pendulum star. Oh, he got a firstie? Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. So that pushed him way further from the wall than he was expecting. Okay, saksdal has pendulums in his hands, but speaking of hands, m0m0 has get a hand. Now m0m0, all he has left, I believe, is just reds. And he'll be moving on along to Bowser in the Sky after a quick little conversation with everyone's favorite mushroom head. saksdal, though. It's unfortunate that this is what this race is kind of coming down to, especially with that beautiful sync that we had moving into upstairs. But saksdal's not super, super far behind. Still going to be able to get a healthy number of points out of this race. m0m0 on PB. What is m0m0's PB? I thought m0m0 already had a 49. But if he doesn't, then this could... I'm sorry. I thought that he already talked to... Or I thought he didn't already talk to Toad. That's my bad. If m0m0's PB is a mid to high 50, he might be on a PB pace, but it'd be very, very tight. And I think m0m0's PB is a little bit better than that. Oh, he does have a 49? Okay, yeah. I thought so. Nice stair movement, not even getting a ledge grab after that first side flip. Saxdal gonna finish on up with TTC. Just has to finish up. Oh, TTC 100, okay. I'm wondering what star he still had left. Wow, m0m0 is tearing it up in bits right now. What even was that alt movement from Saksdal? I have never seen that before. That was amazing. What even was that? I think that... I'm not sure if that'd be that much faster. It probably would be like a second or two faster. Having some troubles with this triple jump wall kick, though. m0m0 is in the pipe. Probably looking at a 50-30 or so. Saksdal just having a little bit of bobbles here and there. His movement is overall very clean, but where he does make mistakes, he seems to repeat these mistakes. Just like this. I mean, it's... After doing that extremely swag wall kick to get up to the blue coin switch, he just doesn't seem to be able to quite hold together on the more simple pieces of movement. And he misses a coin on that box. Just one coin slightly out of his, or Mario's hitbox. He's able to back it up and go get that coin without having to go get that really awkward Bowser box. Or backup box. Speaking of Bowser, though, m0m0 has dispatched the Koopa King. And with that, he is clutching this win with a 50-34. GG's to m0m0. m0m0 big star get. m0m0 race win. m0m0 win get. But Saksdal is not too far behind. He's still looking at a pretty decent point total should he have a good bit. Let's see how it starts to look here. m0m0 taking the long pull from that fancy water bottle. Well deserved after that win. And what a stellar race. I mean, all the way until that really unfortunate clip down in TTM, they were super, super close together. It's actually just having a couple of mistakes here and there that really started to pull the separation. But m0m0 just... We need to talk about m0m0 had an exceptional upstairs. I can't really think of that many mistakes that he made since going upstairs. Saksdal with moving right side, and he gets it first try. Oh, man. But then misses the elevator triple jump. And that might be a death. That's a death. That is a death right there. Not even a fall death. Have to wait for that entire Mario passing out animation. What a rough way to take a death in bits like that. Oh man, especially after moving right side. Yes, that is a definite level 5 bonk. If we want to make the bonk scale go up to level 10, that would certainly be a level 10 as well. Doesn't like his angle for his triple jump dive. I'm gonna go ahead and reset that up. And you can kind of see how flustered he is. His movement isn't quite as precise this time around. And what a transition, going from accomplishing moving right side to doing the wood block strat instead. Not something you see every day. It's a pretty decent bit slower, but a lot safer for people that are really comfortable with it. Movement can be a little bit awkward to learn, but at this level, it's certainly completely free, especially when you're comparing it to something like moving right side. But he's in there now, getting his own fight with the Koopa King, looking like at best he'll be about 3 minutes or so behind. Not too bad, ultimately. He'll be raking in about 12 points or so, depending on what his exact final time is. That throw... Oh! I feel like I've seen further away actually hit, but that was pretty iffy. And the hitboxes are... Oh! Saksdal not even getting Bowser to bounce there. And this time around, let's see if he's able to get the second throw. And build up a little bit more speed. He knows he can't rely on that bounce with his position. Tries to go for the tail regrab, but gets blocked by Bowser instead. Fortunately, Bowser takes a lot of time breaking down all these platforms, so he was able to still get that tail grab pretty quickly. And with that, he's going to be finishing with a low 54. Not a bad race time, especially considering the just really unfortunate stuff that was happening to Saksdal towards the end of this race. Just a really, really solid performance for both runners, but m0m0 just really pulled ahead with that pristine upstairs and tippy. Only making a couple of little mistakes, like missing Lakitu bounce, but he was able to get backups really cleanly. But Saksdal, anytime he made mistakes, it resulted in huge time loss. And it's unfortunate, but sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Well, that'll be it for us for this race, folks, but don't go anywhere. We still got more Mario 64 action to follow. Drogi versus Pete coming right up for you. Then after that, we got some Celeste action, starting off with TGH versus Flare Bear. Should be a pretty nice matchup there. If you haven't seen Celeste, super awesome 2D platforming action, so make sure to stick around after this next Mario race for that. But for now, I'm Electric. I'll see y'all in a couple of minutes for this next Mario race. Peace out, folks, and I hope you had a good time watching this.